Today we're talking about the feelings of loneliness and isolation and what we can do to start to feel better. Welcome back. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Nena and I'm a life coach that specializes in personal development. Here at this channel, we talk about everything having to do with our emotional well-being, understanding our own psychology, and living our best life possible. So if you aren't already a subscriber, please take a moment and become one. We definitely want you to stay connected. The first thing we need to understand about loneliness is that it's a feeling and not a fact. So for example, it is entirely possible for us to be surrounded by other people but still feel very lonely inside. Something in your mental or physical environment is really triggering these feelings of isolation, and it could be as simple as an experience that you had in the past, or thinking about a memory that is upsetting you, or just that general feeling that you are really different than other people. It could also stem from the fact that you might feel that other people don't appreciate who you are or understand who you are or where you are coming from. But whatever the reason is behind your loneliness, the fact of the matter is that it is extremely painful to feel lonely. So today we'll talk about not only how to help determine where exactly this feeling of loneliness might be coming from, but also I wanted to offer some actionable steps to help you feel better as soon as possible. So the first part of this process is trying to determine where exactly this loneliness is coming from. So it's going to be essential that you really look at your own life and really audit your own life and see if you can come to some kind of determination about the different things that might be causing or contributing to this lonely feeling. So is it certain places? Is it certain environments? Is it certain people or different types of situations? But you want to first determine that root cause. So you want to look at the different aspects of your life and see when you are most likely to have these feelings. Is it when you are looking at social media? Is it when you are at work? Is it when you are at the gym? Where is it? You want to see where it's most common that you have these feelings. Now, I know some people say that they feel lonely pretty much all the time, and that could very well be the case for you as well. However, there's probably situations that make you feel worse than other situations. So you want to go ahead and kind of determine what those situations actually are. The second part of this is self-analysis. So we want to look at everything that we wrote down and we want to see if it's connected with any open issues in our life. Are there issues in our life that are causing us guilt or shame or other negative emotions that we really need to address? Sometimes when we have these open issues in our life, it really causes us to feel very isolated and lonely because we really get immersed in these negative feelings and we start to really feel separate than everybody else. So we want to go ahead and take the time to look and see if there are open issues in our life that need healing and closure. And a lot of times when we are effectively able to deal with those issues, we start to naturally feel a lot less lonely because we start to feel better about life. The third thing that we need to do is to start to reincorporate things in our life that bring us joy. So again, a lot of times when we are feeling lonely or any negative emotion, we start to really cut ourselves off from the rest of the world and from the things that actually do make us happy. The problem with that is that we eventually forget that there are good things actually in this world. So we have to, even when we're not feeling like it, make sure we are scheduling time to do things that would be positive for us. So, it doesn't matter what that is for you, but you want to do things that actually, spark joy in your life. And a lot of times when you are feeling, so overwhelmed with negative emotions, you can't even think about, what would be joyful, but you want to try. You want to do something that will give you a positive feeling, even for a short amount of time, just to reintroduce the fact that there are good things in life and that loneliness is not the only emotion that you can feel. So you want to try to replace that feeling, even temporarily, with something much more positive. So you want to go out and maybe see a funny movie if you're up to it, or at least, walk outside. You want to do something that you find inspiring and something that makes you happy, even very, very, very short term. Another side to this is that you want to make sure that you are not neglecting your self-care. So you want to make sure that you are taking care of your physical health. So that means, that you're getting enough sleep and exercise and being careful about what you eat, because a lot of times, again, when we are experiencing these negative emotions, our self-care just kind of goes out the window. So we're so focused on that horrible feeling that we kind of compound it by not taking care of ourselves, which ultimately makes us feel even worse. So we want to make sure that we are maintaining a good level of self-care, and not just with our physical health, with our mental health as well. So we want to make sure that we are journaling and that we are, meditating or doing all the things that personally for you helps you with your own emotional well-being. The fourth thing that we can do is to actually reach out and get help. Now, that could be help in the form of talking to a friend or family member, or if necessary, seeking out professional help, going to see a mental health professional that could help you if you are feeling that this emotion is just something that you can't handle on your own. But either way, we need to understand that there is no shame ever in getting help, because it really shows our strength as a person that we are doing the steps that we know that may be necessary for our own self to get past this and go forward in our life. So you want to give yourself permission to get the help that you feel that you need to help you feel better. We always have to just remember that our mental health is just as important as our physical health. So you just want to make sure that you're always taking these feelings seriously and that you are doing all that is necessary for truly taking care of yourself, again, both on that physical and emotional level. And if you're feeling reluctant to talk to friends or family members about this because you feel like they may not know what to say, you can actually tell them that. You can tell them that you are just looking for a sympathetic ear. You're not looking for someone to solve your problems, but sometimes just being able to communicate your thoughts and your feelings just makes you feel a lot better, because when we keep it all inside, again, that a lot of times just makes us feel even more isolated. So being able to share oftentimes is very, very helpful. So you want to make sure that however you plan to do it, that you are really expressing yourself in the way that you most need to do so. The fifth thing that we can do is to go ahead and start to reach out and try to make connections that actually fulfill our needs. So earlier we talked about a lot of times our loneliness stems from the fact that we feel that we don't have people that really understand us. So going out and searching for people that you feel that might be a better fit in your life might make a lot of sense. We might feel lonely because we've maybe outgrown the people that we have relationships with now. So we may need to seek out relationships that do make us feel that connection or make us feel fulfilled or understood. But remember that there are always other people out there that can relate to you. No person is so different that nobody can, relate to them. So it's just a matter of finding the people that don't make you feel lonely, that you feel that you have a true connection with, and that they understand where you're coming from, they understand your perspective, and that they like it, they accept who you are. So you want to reach out to find that connection, and the counterpart to this is that you need to learn to accept and love yourself, because there could be aspects of yourself that you aren't offering love because you do feel different. But you have to understand that, no person is not deserving of love. No person is imperfect. We are all perfect creatures in our own way, and we are unique and should be celebrated. So we need to offer our self-love and allow other people to love us for who we are as well. And number 6 goes hand in hand with that, and that is understanding that being different does not have to be a negative. It certainly can be a positive. In my own life, I felt so different from everybody else, for most of my life. And at some points in my life, it actually really did make me feel lonely. I felt like nobody understood where I was coming from. But with time, I really understood what an asset it was to be unique and different. And the fact of the matter is that every person is actually unique and different. It may seem when we're feeling lonely that everybody else is the same, but that's simply not true. People may have common interests or, dress a certain way, but the fact of the matter is that every person is different from one another and really vastly different. So it's either something that they hide or something that they embrace. And I really invite you to embrace that, because when you can really celebrate who you are and really be proud of your differences, you can take those unique facets and use them to your advantage in life. Those are the things that can actually propel you into success and happiness, because only you are able to think the thoughts that you have, and you are only the one that has the perspective that you have. So it gives you something very unique and special to offer to this world. So just remember that loneliness is just a feeling, it's not a fact, and that you are not alone in your loneliness. People feel lonely all the time, and so much of that is a matter of perspective and kind of working through all the different things that we discussed today. So again, if it does feel overwhelming, certainly reach out for help. Help is always available to you and never shameful to get. And the last thing to remember is that all situations change. No matter what is going on in your life and what you are experiencing, it is only temporary. So it will change eventually, but you can take control of yourself by changing your feelings and your emotions now. So I hope this video was helpful to you, and if it was, please like it and share it with someone else who may need to hear the same message today. Also, if you aren't already a subscriber, please take a moment and become one. We definitely want you to be part of our family, and I thank you so much for spending time with me today. Have an absolutely amazing day.